The animation began with a young girl named Elian riding on a huge creature with wings alongside her friends. They're given instructions to open the gate in order for Princess Elian to gain access into the kingdom. When she arrived, her friends requested that they have fun and throw a birthday party for her since she is now 15. However, Elian refuses, as she wants to spend this very moment with her both parents. She headed straight to the palace gate, but just then, Elian is informed by the minister that her parents are requesting an audience with her. Immediately, Ellen practices for a good excuse to give her parent for leaving the palace. She obeyed their calling, and we discovered her both parents are actually monsters. She narrates to us that long time ago, her parents were not actually born as a monster. In fact, they were once human who were in charge on ruling the kingdom peacefully, but in the previous year, when they were exploring around in the forest, darkness came from nowhere and cursed her parents, turning them into monsters, and unfortunately, only she and their palace workers knows about this, and the people don't know about this royal secret. Although ever since this curse that befalls her parents, life haven't been really easy for her, as she is now given the responsibility and task which was supposed to be done by her both parents. Elian is also in charge of feeding her both parents, bathing, and taking care of them. Meanwhile, the people are very furious and frustrated that they haven't seen their king and queen for a year now, so they demanded they needed an answer. The palace ministers informed Ellen that they can't hold off the people forever because they have exhausted every possible excuse there is. But unfortunately, Ellen still needs time to turn her parents back to humans because she knows it will be disastrous if the people discovers the truth about their ruler. A moment later, Elian is given a message and the instructions in it was she need to add water on the paper to see the full message, and when she does this, Elian found herself in a holy place with an oracle of the sun and of the moon, where she discovered that they are interested in helping her out, but firstly, they would have to see the kind of monsters her both parents had turned to. Ellen also get informed of their arrival, which is the 3rd day of the month, and luckily, it was on her birthday. This really made the young girl very happy and glad, as this was just more than a glimpse of hope to finally save her parents. The two ministers named Nazar and Bowler are very afraid because his Elian birthday celebration is tonight, and they won't be able to hide the truth of the king and queen being monsters from the people. However, just then one of the ministers suddenly figures out a solution to this problem, and he is of the opinion that, since Ellen is turning 15 tonight, they should lie to the people, informing them that the king and queen has passed away, and afterwards, they crown Ellen as the new queen to rule the kingdom. This doesn't sound as a bad idea, as Bowler agrees to it, and just as they are about to go, Princess Ellen enters the room and informs them of the good news, which is the oracle is coming tonight to break the curse on her both parents. They also tell her their plan of announcing the death of her parents to the people, crowning her as the queen, and sending her parents to the forest where she can visit them anytime. The princess agrees on the condition only after the oracle fails to break the curse of the king and queen. A moment later, a gigantic frog enters the castle and approaches them. Soon after, the frog opens its mouth and the oracle of sun and moon came out to greet the princess. Ellen brings out her parent, and immediately, the oracles get afraid of them and didn't even believe whatever Elian had told them earlier, as they just believed she was joking, which is what every teenage girl does since they are all dramatic. The oracles were able to figure out that her parents has been to the dark forest of eternal darkness, which is what turned them to the monsters they are now. And if the curse is not broken as soon as possible, her parents will remain monsters forever. Just as they were still discussing, her monster parents comes out and attacks them. The oracles in fear flew away. This act really made Elian so frustrated and furious that she had to go along with Nazar and Bowler plan, which is by becoming the new queen of the kingdom. But at the cause of she locking her parents inside a cage to be taken to the forest. In an emotional way, Ellen shared her birthday cake with her mom. The next day, Ellen wake up and realized her both parent had escaped from their cage and discovered that she didn't lock the doors. She goes out immediately to the palace balcony to see them causing chaos in the town. The general instructs her men to attack the monsters, but just then, Ellen stopped the general and her army from hurting her parents. She finally revealed to them that the monster are actually their king and queen. Ellen tries to calm her parents, but they use their claw to strike her unconscious, leading to the soldiers to trap the monsters down with a net. At night, the people held a meeting as they are also afraid after finding out their king and queen were turned into a monster. They believe this is black magic. The general is of the opinion that they crown Elian as the queen immediately. Fortunately for Elian, she was able to communicate with the oracles. They inform her that they are also afraid to come back due to the monsters. However, they later decided to help her when she says she will come to them. A moment later, just as the soldiers were about to transport her parents to the unknown, Ellen uses the wand of the oracles to free her parents and immediately create a carriage which she used to take her parents to a deep forest where the oracle stays. A chase ensues between she and the soldiers, and after a long extended chase, she finally escaped them. Elian eventually got to the house of the oracle, but they are still a bit afraid of the monster. Elian apologized and also gave them their wand, but they reveal that they don't have the capability to change them. The oracle informed the princess that only her parent could save themselves, as together, They get to embark on an invigorating quest through the dark forest of eternal darkness. They advise the princess to be very careful because the dark forest feeds on dark feelings such as one's anger, hatred, and pain, making the person lost forever. Elian and her parents went on this quest together, but on their way, she realized that the palace guards are serious in search of their princess. They come across a tunnel, and as they pass through, they see beautiful lights everywhere. Just then, her both parents began to fight, and this leaves Ellen frustrated. And due to these, she suddenly begins to develop a dark feeling inside her heart, making the darkness to appear, and tries to suck her into it. Her parents, who realizes Ellie in danger, they then unleash a bright feeling from their mouths, and it overpowers Ellen's dark feelings, which eventually saves her. For the first time, our both parents talked again after the incident. Just as the general was searching for Ellen, she and her men finds trails on the floor and begins to track down Ellen. The princess and her parents arrived at a place covered with sands. When they step on the sand, it starts sinking them. They find a rock to step on, and as they all argue on a safe place to pass, they are attacked by some of the general's men and some kind of dark mysterious power which chased after them. However, to stop the darkness, Ellen figures out a way out by making her parents work together into saving a baby bird. After they did just that, the darkness disappears. The general and her soldiers shows up again and began to run towards them. Immediately, Ellie and Dad uses the sands to create a huge fog, which was just enough to make the general to lose trace of them. They arrived at a beautiful place where Elian is wowed by what she had seen. Soon after, Elian's parents regained their memories and remembered they are the king and queen and Ellen is their daughter. This really made Ellen to be very happy seeing her parents have regained their memories. Fortunately for them, they sight the lake of light across mountain and ran straight towards it. When they arrive there, the light shows her parents' exact reason why they were turned into monsters. They also remember it is prohibited for anyone to fight or get angry in the dark forest. The king and queen, who were on their way back from a quest, ended up in an argument against each other, which is what led to the darkness turning them into monsters. Immediately, Elian's parents refused to step inside the lake of light. They informed her that they can't be together again and can't also go back to the way it was before. Ellen gets so angry, stating her both parents don't actually care about her feelings and effort she put in just to get them to where they are now. This act brought back the darkness, and it began to consume her soul. Her parents tried saving her, but are stopped by the general soldiers who captures and caged them. On their way, they managed to free themselves from the cage. Now that they can speak, they inform the general that they are the king and queen, making the general to stop immediately to pay her respect along with the army. They told the general that the princess is in that storm, and they have to save her. They got to their destination and found their daughter, who was about to turn into a monster by the darkness. They quickly head straight to the Lake of Light and use their monster strength to divert the Lake of Light towards their daughter direction, leading to the darkness and her to leave their daughter alone. They apologize to her for everything and express how they love her. Immediately, Elian hugged her parents and the strong love among them, then outweigh the spell which eventually breaks the curse, turning the kind and queen back to humans. After a year, Ellen informed us on the life she has now been leaving. As soon as she returns back to the palace, she get a happy birthday surprise party from the townspeople, even with the Oracle. They told her that they are proud of her and who she had become. The animation then came to an end. Kindly subscribe for more animated recap like this. Thanks for watching and goodbye.